everybody. This is the Jedi. So, I don't want to stack y'all up. I know y'all like, Jedi, what you doing releasing another video? I'm not even done watching the one before this one. Settle down. I got you, boo face. Um, and just random shout out to ex co-worker of mine from years ago. When I worked in the district in DC. Um, I worked for a very prestigious law firm, very prestigious law firm, McDermott, Will and Emery. And at McDermott, Will and Emery, one of my colleagues was a beautiful young sister named Tanya, and she used to always call me Boo Face. So I just put that out in the universe, wherever she is. Just a shout out to her. Um, so I got you, Boo Face. But timing is critical on this, everybody, because of contrast and context. So that I just became aware of this, and I need to pull your ear and say, wait a minute, because they got us all over here running towards door number one. Door number one is Jussie Smollett. And we should be running towards that door. That's all cool. But the bitch is trying to make you not see what's behind door number three. You understand? And so this is what is behind door number three, everybody. But it's being buried because of the whole thing with Jussie Smollett. Well, it's not getting past us, damn it. And this is also essential to highlight, because we're always being told there's a boogeyman overseas someplace. You see, the North Korean president is a what do they call the bullshit? A dictator, you see, and Gaddafi was bad in Libya, and Saddam was bad in Iraq, you see, and Osama was bad in Afghanistan, and Chavez is bad in Venezuela. You see, we can keep going down the list. They always got a boogeyman ready for your ass, but it's they ass. You'll recall that a few months ago, Donna Lemon said on her CNN nightly show, she made the statement that the biggest threat to America is white terrorism. And that is absolutely factual, and Donna brought her receipts. You see? Okay, grant you there was one mixed up in the box of receipts that had her Christian Louboutin heels, but we're not focusing on that. See, you're getting distracted. You see, I can't even talk to you right now. I can't. So I can't even talk to you right now. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying, I can't talk to you when you're like this. So I'm saying, I can't. So we can't even have this conversation right now. So I'm saying, because you're getting distracted. You say you're bringing up things that we're not discussing right here. You see what I'm saying? And I can't even do this right now. So I'm saying, so are you ready to listen now? Can we talk? Okay, fine. Now, so Donna had her receipts, and that's why you notice that story went away very quickly. It went away in a puff of smoke, because it is the damn truth, and they don't want that highlighted. So we heard no talk of, should Donna step down? Does Donna need to apologize? And should she? There was none of this. You may have heard some whisperings very, very briefly, and then it vanquished into a puff of smoke, because that is the damn truth. And indeed, I expand the statement. I join Donna in her statement, and I expand that truth to a bigger and also valid truth, and that is the biggest threat to America is white terrorists, and indeed, white, or he said, white men are white terror, white white male terrorists. I think was his language. Is the biggest threat to America, the biggest domestic threat. Yeah, and so I would expand that to say indeed, and also white men are the biggest terrorists on the earth. You see? And while I will not bring the stack of receipts that Donna produced, I will give you a few. Number one, America is a white country, and they remind us of that every chance they get. You see? How dare you not stand for our flag? Hmm? You see, the real Americans and all that. You know, their Tea Party wanted their country back. You see? And all of this. All of those who voted for Trump, they're in that same class. They want their country back. Make America great again. Take out great and add white. And poof, you've got the truth right in front of you. You see? But also, who has staged more conflicts? We're not going to call them wars. You see, because that's the other thing the white man never does. Remember, he's a terrorist, so he doesn't do wars. Come on, get out of here. See, right there, you're bringing up stuff again. We're not discussing. You see, I can't talk to you when you're like this. I can't do it. Where's my punch? Oh my God, I can't. Now, settle down. So America does not and has not fought any wars. They only attack and aggress and bully. So who has done more attacking and aggressing and bullying across the earth? Starts with an A, ends with an A. Hmm? Oh my God, it's America. Hmm? Who is the only people on the planet Earth in the history of civilization since creation that have used the atomic nuclear bomb? I ask you this now. Hmm? Oh my God, it's white men. Damn it, I didn't see that answer coming. Damn it. Urgh. I'd like to buy a vowel for 1500, Alex, if I could just like to buy a vowel. Who has military bases in over 175 countries across the earth? Starts with an A, ends with an A. Damn it, it's America. Damn it, those white men. Urgh. Damn it. You see? We could keep going. Who is it that calls their president the leader of the free world? Think about the arrogance of that statement. I mean, the abject arrogance. It's a disrespect to everybody, everywhere. You understand? To proclaim yourself the leader of the free world, and they're not objecting to it. You see? So it's white men and their offspring, of course, that are the scourge to all of humanity. And anyone with an honest eye, only interested in the truth, looking at history and current day events, can come to no other conclusion. If you had a race of people or beings that came to this planet today, as I speak, from another galaxy, they've never been here, they knew nothing about it, and they landed on the earth, and they began to see conflict. We would hope and we would assume, and it's more likely, that they would be inclined to do a pathology. They'd want to say, where does this conflict come from? Hmm? Where's it coming from? And if they did their work, all roads lead back to white hands. That's the damn truth, you see. And the only people that will object to this truth are white people. You see, they're happy to point the finger at anybody else in a heartbeat, but they will not even hear when the finger is pointed at them. And we don't give a damn about that. We are not concerned about their feelings, you see. The truth needs to be the order of the day, because what I always tell you, truth settles all dispute. And I always tell you there can never be reconciliation without acknowledgement. It doesn't matter who the parties are, what their relationship is to each other, what their conflict is. It doesn't matter. There can never be reconciliation without acknowledgement. That means you need to acknowledge your shit. Sadly, we're dealing with an entity that perfects its skill of denial, deflection. You see, changing the subject, trying to make it seem like others are just like them and that everybody's doing what they do and nobody does what they do. They're the only people that do the shit that they do, including this. We don't have any record anywhere in the history of man, in this nation particularly. You would never see a story like this with black uh, um, players in the story. You don't see it. Just like you don't see black characters in the story of school shootings and mall shootings. You don't see any black faces in that. Because I am of the firm belief, based on knowledge, I'm of the firm belief that the rest of humanity is pretty damn peaceful. Most of humanity has a spoken or unspoken culture of don't start none, won't be none. You see? But we're dealing with an entity of people who seek conflict, who seek to disrupt and destroy, maim, kill, incarcerate, genocide, starvation, war, all of it. Seek it. Can be counted on to ruin any peace at any time, no matter where it exists. Now, that is the truth. That's the truth. Damn it. You know, just as it relates to African people, we were chilling on our glorious mother continent, chilling, happy as Beulah the goddamn cow, until their white asses showed up and changed the entire trajectory of a people's existence on the earth forever. That because of their savagery, no matter how brilliant we become as individuals or as a group, we will never be able to know what it would have been to live an authentic human experience in the arc of life from birth to death, from the womb of our mother to the cradle of the earth. Think about that. They interrupted our very right to exist and to have a natural experience as human creatures from birth to death. This can never be forgiven. And to add insult and further injury to the crime, they never stopped. To this day, from their government to any of their institutions, to the very individual, the bitch that lives next door to you, they continue to provoke, to fuck with, to deny us peace and existence. That's the damn truth. That's the damn truth. And as I always tell you, I am not here to self-aggrandize. I'm not here to be impressive. This is not a hobby for me. I don't give a damn about my opinions and feelings. This is about the truth. And for me, it reigns supreme over everything. You understand? If the truth was different, that's what I'd be proclaiming. But this, sadly, is the truth. And so, they will always take some insignificant infraction by anybody that's non-white and try and turn them into the worst human being that ever lived. But their endless stable of savages always gets the title of mental illness. Well, I'm over it. I'm over it. Domestic terror plot. A self-professed white nationalist, oh my God, who is also a lieutenant in the U.S. Coast Guard, planned to murder innocent civilians on a scale rarely seen in this country, federal prosecutors said. He was arrested in Maryland last week. Now, he was arrested last week. I'm just finding out about it today. But I've known about Jussie. And he's a lieutenant in the U.S. Coast Guard. This is why I've always told you, be not distracted or seduced, everybody, or tricked by any of these costumes they wear. They have police badges and guns and uniforms and things, you see. Presidential suits and Coast Guards and, devil. Devil. You understand? Devil. And domestic terrorist. Doesn't matter who they are, what scale they're on. Now, interesting, they open up and say he's a self-professed white nationalist. Roll your receipt, Jedi.
You know, they have a word. It sort of became old-fashioned. It's called a nationalist. And I say, really, we're not supposed to use that word. You know what I am? I'm a nationalist, okay? I'm a nationalist.
The bitch next door. The police driving in a cruiser. The fucking National Guard. The bitch at Walmart. The president. The congressman, the senator. Any of these people. You understand? This is the scourge of humanity. why there will never be peace for everybody else and anyone else as long as they have existed and continue to exist. You see, that's why I always say, doesn't matter what the situation is or who the parties are, whatever's going on. You have to always identify who's the provocateur, who's causing it. You got to point the finger, call out, and expose. You see? You hear water dripping. You don't just say, well, there's a lot of people that drip water and water something exists on Earth and it even comes from the sky. And you talk about every fucking thing around that except for there's a fucking leak in your house. No, nobody does that. You say, I gotta find this leak. You find it and you fix it, or you call the plumber. You see, plane goes down. Oh my God, they bring out the fucking the ATF, or no, not the ATF, the what's that? The people, uh, the TSA. No, not the TSA. Damn it, Jedi, wrong again. Like to buy Val, Alex. Like to buy Val for 300. Like to buy Val. Uh, the people that do that. They, God damn it, they investigate plane crashes. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But why do they call them out? Well, planes go down, everybody knows that, so everybody crashes a plane, and everybody does it. It's not just one race, it's every. No, bitch. They have a whole organization set up to come in to find out what happened. What was the cause of this? You see? And before it even takes place, they've got the black box, they've got the flight data recorder, and the cockpit voice recorder. You see? Because they know some shit can happen. And when it does, they want to know who fucking did it. So, we're the black box. No pun intended. We are the cockpit voice recorder. But what we're failing to do is to call out and point to the cause of the strife of humanity, but certainly the cause of the strife of our people in this asshole of Satan that they call a country. Suddenly there's all this hierarching language and flotational words that don't indict and identify and point fingers at. I don't live my life that way. I point, I indict, I call out, I chastise, I identify. You understand? No roach is safe in the presence of the Jedi. You understand? So we have to call it what it is. Just like in the case of this fucking orange tulip. We have to call it what it is. He is the white president. You see? He is the white president. He represents exactly what they want. This is what they want. Because he speaks for all of them. To bully everybody around the fucking earth. To talk tough. To be tough. To feel like they're winning and being number one. Nobody of color behind him. Nobody. Nobody. And that's the way they like it. You see? So there's no difference in him and all them fucking people behind him. No difference in all of them and this dude. You see? Who curiously there's no picture of. Like I haven't seen him. You see? If I find something, a picture of him before we're done with this piece, I will absolutely share that with you troops. But I ain't seen no picture of this dude. You see? We gotta be honest, everybody. And it's important that we use the proper language. You understand? Because I always tell you how you think and speak. Hear this. How you think and speak about anything or anyone is how you relate and react to that. A black parent who is using the wrong language to describe these people to their children is putting the wrong language and or thoughts and speech into the mind of that young child. They grow up and they're having the wrong relationship and reaction to these people. You understand me? They're having the wrong relationship and reaction. This is the problem, you see. It's no different than a child born to parents that say they live in a crack neighborhood, like it's infested with crack, dude. Like just crack everywhere. You see? And they don't tell that child, that's bad. You must never do that. It will destroy your life. It will kill you. It's a They don't tell them. And that child becomes a crackhead, becomes a victim of it. Becomes a victim of it. You see? Or another scenario, they tell them about it. They tell you how you think and speak. But they give them the wrong thoughts and the wrong language. They use language that does not insinuate to the child that this is something dangerous and bad and illegal and deadly. You see? Oh, it's a drug and it's, people use it. And I mean, you get done and they think they have it in their head that it's kind of like an aspirin or some shit. You see? They don't give it its proper description. So, therefore, the child is not relating and reacting to that properly in its proper context. You see? Our history. And we use that word very carefully because history suggests something in the past that's over, that has happened, has taken place, past tense. Our shit is current, it is now, it is active. So we can never even speak about our strife as something historical. You must use language that absolutely connotes that the shit is right now. It's not historical. This is why we have, anytime you see this interracial relationship bullshit, you're looking at an African, whether it be a male or a female, you're looking at an African who has not been given the proper language. So they're relating and reacting in a way that is antithetical to our current situation. If they had been given the proper tools, they would know this is absolutely a no-no and can't happen. Like, hell nah. You see? Just like they would know if they've been given the proper education. They would know if somebody put a bowl of anthrax in front of them, or arsenic or cyanide. They would know, ooh, push that away. I've been told and I've learned that shit is no good for you. It is deadly and it will kill you. Why aren't we doing the same thing as it relates to our history and our relationship to this global terrorist? I ask you this now. Hmm? And no double standard. Because I always tell you, the truth is the only thing that matters. Opinions and feelings are out. So, if the tables were turned, we would expect for them to tell their children the same damn thing. Hmm? Remember when you notice how anytime something happens in another country that they've caused, and the atmospherics there become dangerous and hostile and volatile, what do? They put out a travel warning. U.S. government is warning, travelers who travel to the whatever, insert country, to be careful due to unrest and etc. They're warning you, don't go there, that's dangerous. They don't tell you, well, travel sees no color, travel sees no danger. You see? We got to grasp a hold of this, everybody, because this is where liberation lies. This is where it lies at. It lies in the truth. Liberation lies in the truth. Are you understanding me? It's very critical. It's very critical. This is why you have to change your thinking. You see? And you got to be willing to accept the truth no matter what your personal damn feelings are. Well, you can't, but that don't mean everybody, but this is love and I fell in love. No, you didn't. You can't. You can't. They send troops into war. You don't have anybody going over and canoodling with the other side. You see? That's the enemy. Everybody knows, don't go over there. And when you do, they call you what? A traitor. A deserter. They got a list of names for you. You see? Because you're one army representing a nation. And your murdering, savage ass, devilish ass government has declared some kind of a conflict on them. There you are in Vietnam. There you are. And there you are canoodling. Huh? With the Viet Cong. There you are. You see? You done fell in love. You see? Or you can't judge all Viet Cong just because they're wearing the uniform of the soldiers. You can't blame all those Iraqis standing over there with their Iraqi military uniform on. You can't blame all of them. You can't say their whole army is bad. Really? Do you see the hypocrisy? All bets are off when it comes to cozying up to them. Letting shit slide, acting as if their past and current behavior has not always been the same thing. Zebras do not change their stripes, everybody. And leopards don't lose their spots. So he's arrested in Maryland last week. Christopher Hasen, 49, faces federal charges of illegal possession of a firearm and possession of a controlled substance. Just a second. Just a damn second. Just a second. According to my recollection, Jussie Smollett was just charged with felony disorderly conduct. This header over here says domestic terror plot. I didn't see the word terror anywhere in their charges. Christopher Hassan faces federal charges of illegal possession of a firearm. So it's like he had a gun that he had a traffic stop and they pulled him over. And is that gun registered, sir? Oh no. Okay, well, they will have to charge you for illegal possession and possession of a controlled substance. Oh, and he's got pills or something, or maybe he had some marijuana. Nothing to connote to the reader the level of violence and savagery. You see? But had this man's name not been Christopher Hassan, but had been Abdullah Rahman Fahad Hassan, it would be planning an international terrorist plot, inciting some shit. It would be all sorts of shit, charges we've never even seen before. But here, nothing. We're going to read on. Maybe I'm wrong, but thus far I'm not. So he faces federal charges of illegal possession of firearms, possession of a controlled substance. And that's according to what? Court documents, bitch. Huh? Well, we can't highlight. Okay, there we go. You see? That's according to court documents, not a source, not a representative, not a spokesperson. That's according to court fucking documents. Now, it goes on to say, but prosecutors wrote that those charges are the proverbial tip of the iceberg. Okay, all right, okay. Quote, the defendant is a domestic terrorist bent on committing acts of dangerous, bent on committing acts dangerous to human life that are intended to affect governmental conduct. Prosecutors from the U.S. Attorney's Officials Office in Maryland wrote. Okay, but where are the federal charges for fucking terrorist shit, bitch? Where's that at? Federal agents executed a search warrant on this asshole apartment in Silver Spring, Maryland. Used to work in Silver Spring, Maryland, by the way. I worked for Lawrence Iser and Associates. I was the assistant to the senior attorney himself, Mr. Lawrence Iser. It was your boy, Pop my collar. So the bitch is they executed search warrant in Silver Spring, Maryland, and found 15 firearms. You see, and more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition, and records he had purchased thousands of pills of a heavy narcotic. Boom. What I said, and I was just joking up here when I said when I was saying, like he had one gun, and then and he's got pills, and what did it come down here? The bitch is on pills. You see what I'm saying? Because what? That's all they do. That's all they do. You see, their kids are dropping dead like flies right now because of it. You see, but I remind you, he's only been federally charged with possession of a firearm, everybody. Not a stash of fucking arsenal. No. He's charged with illegal possession of a firearm. Not even criminal possession of a firearm. No, just it's illegal. You see the hypocrisy? It's all of them. Because he's the motherfucker planning it, and they're the bitches that's supposed to be charging him. Do you see the collusion? Do you see the like-mindedness runs in the DNA? I suggest to you. She's got 1,000 rounds of ammo. and records he had purchased thousands of pills of a heavy narcotic. The asshole allegedly accumulated the stockpile of firearms over the course of 2 years, eventually amassing an arsenal worth thousands of dollars. You see? But nobody asked him. He was able to amass that many fucking guns in the course of 2 years, and nobody asked him any questions about anything. Oh, 'cause he's white, you guys. I'm sorry. Damn it, Alex. I'd like to buy a vowel for 1,500. I'd like to buy a vowel, please. Huh? Worth thousands of dollars. Investigators said they found a spreadsheet on the asshole's computer listing the names of several left-leaning television personalities and prominent Democratic members of Congress. Including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Didn't see that name coming. Didn't see it coming. Just didn't see that one coming. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. Did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. Damn it. Damn it. I'd like to buy a vowel for 1,500. Alex, I'd like to buy a vowel, please. Can I phone a friend? Can I phone? I can't phone a friend. In January, the asshole searched for phrases including "Do senators have a Secret Service protection?" "Are Supreme Court justices protected?" and "Best place in D.C. to see Congress people." Prosecutors said in motions arguing for his pretrial detention. All right. And by the way, just the fact that prosecutors had to argue or prepare a motion for pretrial detention, that should be automatic. Huh? We'll have to see if we can detain him before trial. Wow, dude. I remind you that Khalif Browder, our beloved prince, who spent 3 years in fucking Rikers Island waiting for trial for a crime he did not fucking commit, spent 3 years in there before they let him out. The case was never tried. Nothing. There, you could be free to go now. But he spent 3 years because he didn't have 100. His family had, what was it, $300 or some bullshit. But this asshole has a stockpile of shit with a clear intention to do mass harm. And the prosecutors, and it's a federal case, and they have to file a motion to argue, to beg for pretrial detention? Stop the fucking video when I lie. The list also, I read that, no, the list also included the names of several Democratic presidential candidates. I wonder who's going to be on this list. I wonder. Including Senator Kristen Gillibrand of New York, Cory Booker. I did not see that coming. Damn it. I like to use my 50-50. Can I use my 50-50? I can't use my 50-50? And Kamala Harris of California. Did not see that coming. I'm not on my game today. I'm just not on it. You see? This is also threatening a federal employee. But what was he charged for, you guys? I wonder if I could remember. I'm sure they threw the book at him. There's no need to worry about that. Like, of course they threw the book at him. Let's see, what was he charged for? Let's see, I wonder what they brought federal charges for. Federal charges: illegal fucking possession of a firearm and of a goddamn controlled substance. Does anybody see white privilege in this? Raise your hand. Who sees the white supremacy in this bullshit? You see? So it's not just the actor. And the madman, it's all of them. Because they move heaven and earth to charge us with anything for any reason at any time. Wow. The Coast Guard confirmed the asshole is an active duty member stationed at the service headquarters in Washington. The investigation was led by the Coast Guard Investigation Services. Prosecutors said the asshole worked as an acquisition officer, an assignment he began in 2016. The Department of Defense said the asshole was in the Marine Corps from 88 to 92, attaining the rank of corporal. In early 2017, the asshole began studying the manifesto of Andrei Breivik, a far-right extremist who murdered 77 people in Norway in 2011. Again, the mass murderers on the fucking planet are these people. You don't have to like it. It's still going to be the truth. Murdered 77 people in Norway in 2011. The 1,500-page document detailed Breivik's extreme white nationalist ideology. And what did you just hear the orange tulip say?
You know what I am? I'm a nationalist, okay? I'm a nationalist.
Huh? Who has a question? Put your hand up. Huh? And Breivik's extreme white nationalist ideology. Huh? All of them. And by the way, not just nationalist, white nationalist. And served as a blueprint for planning similar attacks. Prosecutors said the asshole consulted the manifesto regularly. Investigators found a draft of an email from June of 2017 in which the asshole wrote he was, quote, dreaming of a way to kill almost every last person on the earth. This is their history and their current day characteristic. Murder, murder, goddammit, murder and kill. But he's only charged everybody with federal charges of illegal possession of a firearm and possession of a controlled substance. But manifestos and mass murder and all of it, that means nothing. Throw that out. You see? Investigators found a draft of an email from June 2017 in which the asshole wrote he was dreaming of killing every last person on the earth. Quote, I was and am a white devil of action. You cannot change minds protesting like that. But when they've wronged you, you're supposed to just go out and chant and march and protest. Singing and chanting and no justice, no peace and all of it. But they settle everything just like this. Just like this. However, you can make a change with a little focused violence, end quote. He wrote in a draft of another letter soon after the deadly white nationalist rally in Charlottesville in 2017. The government has expertly infiltrated and destroyed from within most, if not all, pro-white organizations. We need a white homeland as Europe seems lost, end quote. Now, by the way, the orange tulip saying, they have a word you're not supposed to use anymore, but I guess I'm a nationalist. I'd love to see a black politician either currently in office or running for office or anything to do with the fucking office say, I guess I'm a Black Panther. Hmm? Their heads would roll off because of the double fucking standard. Wow. In an affidavit filed with the criminal complaint, FBI Special Agent Alexandra Toman wrote that the asshole purchased the narcotic tramadol from someone, likely in Mexico, would ship the drugs to an address in California before sending them to the asshole. Listen, that's probably bullshit. You see what I'm saying? They're just trying to slip that in like subliminally. You see what I'm saying? As if he couldn't get that shit here. What the fuck is this bullshit? Let me ask this whore. Trim. Okay, trim. What is tramadol? Wait, y'all. This bitch trying to be difficult. It's her ass too, goddamn it. I'm saying, goddamn it, it's all of them. Tramadol.
Tramadol is a narcotic. It can treat moderate to severe pain.
Okay. Thank you, whore. Now, but they want us to believe that he's a purchased narcotic from someone. You see, again, point fingers, indict, and chastise and identify it from someone, comma, likely in Mexico. Well, what are you basing that theory on? You see, this is just to play into the hands of they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, and they're all coming into our border, and we need to build a wall. You see? Devil's all. Devil's all. Who shipped the drug to an address in California for sale to the asshole. The court documents filed Wednesday don't reveal why the asshole came under suspicion, but federal agents obtained a warrant and searched the asshole's desk at Coast Guard headquarters last Friday, February 12th. The agents found a bottle with dozens of small pink pills and equipment typically used for beating drug tests. They took 2 of the pills for testing and both came back positive for this tramadol bullshit. You see, but it's curious that they say the documents filed don't reveal why he was under suspicion. We'd like to know that. We'd like to know that. Like, what brought him onto your radar? You see, well, why were you looking at him? The next day, the agents watched the asshole on video as he took the bottle out of his desk drawer and cut several pills with a knife before taking one of them, according to the criminal complaint. On 15 February, agents arrested the asshole and discovered 100 pills thought to be the shit at his workplace. He also allegedly had more than 30 bottles labeled as human growth hormone in his apartment in addition to his arsenal of firearms. You see? Wow. But let that have been Hakeem or Ray Ray. You see what I'm saying? They would have been watching his motherfucking ass from the day he started the job. Forget bringing in 100 pills. He wouldn't be able to bring in so much as a pack of chewing gum. I'm over it. The asshole is expected to make his first appearance in federal court on Thursday. The United States versus this asshole, and there's the court pleading. I'm not going to get into reading that right now, you guys. Um, I have a video I want to show you now. Another video I want to show you that's very curious, to say the least. All right? I think you'll agree once you see this. Now, what you need to know about this video is it was titled, it had Jussie Smollett as the thumbnail. And the title of it is Jussie Smollett Arrested. Now, you could say, well, Jedi, whoever made the video, that they just did that. Oh, well, then that's fine. Then you need to explain to me then why the story is about the Coast Guard bullshit. There's a picture of Jussie and no picture of this dude. Who has that answer? Huh? You want to use your phone a friend lifeline? You want to use that? Which one do you want to use? What you want to? Did you want to ask the audience? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You see? Bullshit. More bullshit. Now, hear this though. But that's curious though. The video's titled Jussie is arrested. The thumbnail is Jussie. Then the content of the video is not Jussie. But there's a picture of Jussie and no picture of this white devil. This murdering, terroristic devil. This illegal possession of a firearm and narcotics Jussie, huh? Hear this.
Breaking tonight, federal prosecutors say a Coast Guard officer who has been arrested on gun charges had a hit list and intended to target civilians.
Meanwhile, they're showing you Jussie. You see? The intent is Jussie, everybody. It's what I opened up the video with, telling you this shit is meant to distract you from this shit. You see? They don't give a damn about Jussie. You see what I'm saying? They're the fucking biggest liars on the goddamn earth. Google the word liar and a fucking picture of their ass comes up. You see? And this is the most immoral fucking country on the earth. And we believe that lying is a problem? Huh? Huh? I can't. But, you see, the pièce de résistance for me, and hear this, isn't it curious, everybody, that, as I already set up for you, the video is titled Jussie Smollett Arrested. The thumbnail is Jussie. Boom, you play the video. It's about this asshole, but yet we see moving pictures of Jussie. This is your pièce de résistance. Jussie's whole situation surrounds him creating an incident where racist white devils attack him, calling him nigger, calling him what do you say? They called him nigger, they called him faggot, they this is MAGA country, all the shit. He was staging an event of him being attacked by a racist white terrorist. So isn't it curious that while they cover the case of a terroristic white devil intent on mass murder, they are showing Jussie. And they keep saying or I'm sorry, um, and and I just got a brain fart right as I'm speaking. Oh my God, ya Allah. Center yourself, Jedi. Center. Okay. So, what I'm insinuating here is that they are making a suggestion. And or, hear that again, and or they are communicating that, stay with me, y'all. There's something brilliant coming out. It's coming through. Just bear with me. My thoughts just went haywire. Um, so they're showing pictures of Jussie while talking about this murdering terrorist, which is the very thing that Jussie hoaxed. So they are also come on, universe, give it back to me. Give it back to me. Give it back to me. Give it back. They are they could be suggesting that someone actually carry this out. You know, like do something to Jussie. And or oh my God. This is why I always tell you guys, all knowledge is with Allah. I tell you that all the time. I even tell you, I always give you the example. I say it's just like when somebody comes up and asks you your name and you tell them. And then I always go on to say, you don't tell them your name because you know it. I always say, you tell them your name because Allah allows you to know that in that moment. You don't know anything. You don't know anything at any time for any reason. And anything you're able to think or espouse or share, it's because Allah is allowing you that at that moment. You see? So this is what has happened for me right now. Everything that I'm speaking since I opened up this video is on the allowance of the divine. And any moment, it can be taken away. Moments like this are to remind you of just what I'm sharing with you, that you don't know anything. You don't know anything. And when Allah takes that, you are left with nothing until He says so. So, I gotta make my point, but I have to wait for the universe to give it back to me. It's a very valuable message for you there. Very valuable. I'm glad this is even happening. Take your time, Jedi. Now, start back at the beginning. Isn't it curious that everything that I set up, the thumbnail, the title of the video, da 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 da, and then lo and behold, it's not about that, it's about this dude. But they're still only playing pictures of Jussie and no picture of this dude. Are they sending a signal to Jussie? This could happen. This is what, like, don't play around because this is what could have happened to you. or sort of like, what do you call that? Goading him. All right. Is it that? Is it Is it to say to someone, this guy was ready to go do something. And oh, by the way, remember this nigger just lied on us, but didn't really lie. He spoke what we know happens, it just didn't happen to him. And so this could be insinuous and a precipitation for someone to do something to Jussie, especially given they only are charging him with the possession of a firearm. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So this just gets more curious as the seconds pass, as I see it. Even though I wasn't able to eloquently articulate to you what I'm trying to lay out. But I hope you can at least get the insinuation, and maybe the divine will fill in the blocks for you, and you will go, I know what you're trying to say, Jedi. I get it. Maybe I sparked that thing in you, and you've got it now, and I don't. All right? So, that's what I want to communicate. And because I always tell you that the American public is the dumbest populace on the planet, one could also imagine that people will see it, and because they're only playing Jussie's picture, you will have, and it says hit list, so maybe somebody's watching their TV with the sound down, or they're in a club, or they're at dinner or something in a restaurant, and they're playing his picture, and they have in big letters, hit list. Then you have people going away from this saying, there's a hit out on Jussie. Even if those people have their volume and they can hear it, they're watching it, they're listening to this guy, and they go, oh, there's a hit on Jussie. You see? I hope that makes sense to you. Then somebody, some racist white terrorist, picks up on that. You see? So, the whole thing is diabolical. It's on purpose. It is specious. It is devilish. And I think Jussie should be on notice. Because to me, this is a provocation for somebody to do something. Because I always tell you, it's us and them with these people. They always want revenge. They never let love and forgiveness come out of their lips. They leave that to your dumb Christian ass. It's always about revenge for these people and violence. You understand? So, put that in your hat and smoke it as we watch this.
Breaking tonight, federal prosecutors say a Coast Guard officer.
And it's breaking, everybody. It's the Fox News alert, and he opens up saying, breaking tonight. You see? But it's all Jussie. Let it play, Jedi. Damn it, let it play.
Breaking tonight, federal prosecutors say a Coast Guard officer who has been arrested on gun charges had a hit list and intended to target civilians. Lieutenant Christopher Paul Hansen was taken into custody by FBI agents in Maryland. Prosecutors say they found evidence Hansen was focusing on prominent politicians and TV personalities.
You see? That makes my point. I think even further. You see? On civilians and TV personalities. Boom. And then the picture of Jussie in yellow, so it really stands out. Anybody watching this will be left with the idea that this is part of it. You understand? They still don't show the picture of the dude. But hit list is on the screen. Jussie's there. They're talking about TV personalities. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, it's out in the open. Like, I'm over it. It's clear to me. Like a ray of sun. Let's move on.
National security correspondent Jennifer Griffin is live tonight with details on this. Good evening, Jennifer.
Good evening, Brett. The details in this affidavit are chilling. Federal prosecutors say they arrested an active duty Coast Guard Lieutenant, Christopher Paul Hasson, who allegedly planned to kill top Democratic lawmakers and media personalities. He described himself as a white nationalist who wanted to establish a white homeland and said, "I am dreaming of a way to kill almost every last person on earth." The affidavit provides shocking details. Quote, "The defendant intends to murder innocent civilians on a scale rarely seen in this country. He must be detained pending trial." The FBI raided his cramped Silver Spring, Maryland apartment, where they found a cache of guns and evidence that he was targeting prominent politicians and TV personalities from MSNBC and CNN, who he called traitors. He had worked at Coast Guard headquarters since 2016 and conducted searches on his work computer. He was arrested on federal weapons and drug charges last week. Lieutenant Hasson had a spreadsheet of targets. Those individuals.
Hear that? She said he was arrested on federal weapons and drug charges. You see? Trying to make it seem more dramatic than it was. No, bitch. He was charged with illegal possession of a firearm and possession of a controlled substance. You see? But hear how she says it. The language, everybody. Hear this.
Last week, Lieutenant Hasson had a spreadsheet of targets. Those individuals included Joey, who most likely is Joe Scarborough of MSNBC, based on his computer searches, Chris Hayes from MSNBC.
Wait, y'all. Goddamn it. Okay, play it. Hear this now. The language, everybody.
He had worked at Coast Guard headquarters since 2016 and conducted searches on his work computer. He was arrested on federal weapons and drug charges last week.
Federal weapons and drug charges last week. Now, when you hear that, you think, ooh, cartel. You see? There's a different mental picture that you get from that language than what we read is the actual federal charges. Do we agree? All right, hear this man-ass bitch again.
He was arrested on federal weapons and drug charges.
Federal weapons and drug charges. Ooh, scary. You see? But it's not the truth. It is, but the wording is meant to deceive. Make you think justice is being done, you see? Because if they're showing you this picture, and if she says he was arrested for illegal possession of a firearm and possession of a controlled substance, you look at the picture and go, what? You see what I'm saying? Let's play it.
Was arrested on federal weapons and drug charges last week. Lieutenant Hasson had a spreadsheet of targets. Those individuals included Joey, who most likely is Joe Scarborough of MSNBC, based on his computer searches, Chris Hayes from MSNBC, Senator Richard Blumenthal, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Senators Tim Kaine, Chuck Schumer, Kirsten Gillibrand, Elizabeth Warren, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Senator Cory Booker, among others.
I want to stop and say this to everybody. You know, when you hear them with all this left and right bullshit, as I pointed out to you when we covered the burning of the Nike shoes, you see, after Kaepernick got the deal with Nike, their reaction to that was because how dare they side with this nigger? That's what that was about. And proving my point was not only all the receipts that I showed you, but particularly the one dude that said, I can't wait till this race war jumps off so we can fucking take their leftist ass. But no. I told you left is the new N word. That's what it's code for. And so everybody they just showed and their opposition to the quote unquote left is because in their mind, the left represents the party or people, because it doesn't have to be governmental, just anybody, you could be their fucking next door neighbor, that to them that equals you help non-white people. That's what that means. Because we know on the right, no black people. You see, you got your one or two coons that show up and I'm over it. But we understand that is, they just out in the open with theirs. We know they stand for white people only. Period. You see, the so-called left is a little bit more nuanced. Same devil, but a little bit more nuanced. So everybody that they showed is going to be on this so-called left. Do you understand me? That's what it's really about. That's what it's really about. That's what it's really about. All right, let's play this.
His computer searches. Chris Hayes from MSNBC, based on his computer searches. Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Senator Richard Blumenthal, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Senators Tim Kaine, Chuck Schumer, Kirsten Gillibrand, Elizabeth Warren, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Senator Cory Booker, among others. Prosecutors say this Coast Guard lieutenant, who they describe as a domestic terrorist, wrote about biological attacks and had a hit list. Court papers suggest Lieutenant Christopher Paul Hasson held these views for years, citing a June 2017 email outlining an attack with a biological weapon. The FBI found 15 firearms.
And notice when she talks about him, she's calling him by his full government and still calling him lieutenant and all of it. Lieutenant whatever Paul Hasson, you see? The respect that he's still being given. And I already told you they got a plea to try and keep him in custody before trial. You see? All of them. Hear this.
Senators Tim Kaine, Chuck Schumer, Kirsten Gillibrand, Elizabeth Warren, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Senator Cory Booker.
By the way, in that picture, you can't even tell that Cory Booker is supposed to be an African. You see what I'm saying? And it's random, but I'm interjecting it right now. And then also, like I've said, his brother looks just like him. His brother's older than him, but he's also bald-headed just like that. I need to see some hair, goddammit. I need to see some. Grow a mustache, goddammit. Pull your pants down. Do something. I need hair. You understand me? Because you way too light, bright, damn near white. Your mama had the wrong hue, and you just, I don't believe you. Damn it. I don't believe you. Let's go on.
Elizabeth Warren, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Senator Cory Booker, among others. Prosecutors say this Coast Guard lieutenant, who they describe as a domestic terrorist, wrote about biological attacks and had a hit list. Court papers suggest Lieutenant Christopher Paul Hasson held these.
Lieutenant Christopher Paul Hasson, you see, not the suspect, not the terrorist. No. Christopher Paul, Lieutenant Christopher Paul Hasson. Say it! Lieutenant Christopher Paul Hasson. Say it!
About biological attacks and had a hit list. Court papers suggest Lieutenant Christopher Paul Hasson held these views for years, citing a June 2017 email outlining an attack with a biological weapon. The FBI found 15 firearms and more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition in his apartment. He is slated.
But he's possession of a illegal firearm, everybody. Just the one. Just the one. Just the one.
17 email outlining an attack with a biological weapon. The FBI found 15 fire.
But when that white savage went into Botham Shamjan's apartment and murdered him in premeditated cold blood, and they planted the marijuana in there, they wanted to make it almost sound like he had a stash of marijuana that was ready to fucking supply the entire eastern seashore. You see? But here he is with all this shit, and it's a firearm, everybody. Just the one. Just the one. Just the one. Would you guys like dessert? Just the one. Just the one.
The FBI found 15 firearms and more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition in his apartment. He is slated to appear in a Maryland court on Thursday. Prosecutors are saying these charges are the, quote, proverbial tip of the iceberg. Brett?
Proverbial tip of the iceberg. What does that mean? You see? What does that mean? What does that mean? You see? But as I said to you, the whole video, that's the whole thing, we just saw the whole thing, is about this asshole. Yet, the thumbnail was Jussie. The name of the video is about Jussie. You see? And at the beginning, before they brought her in,
Target civilians.
all they were showing
Lieutenant
was Jussie in moving pictures. I ask the jury now, why? Why? And this is also kind of random, this next statement, but not so much. But a shout out to my girl, Sweet D. What's up, queen? How you doing? Feel me? Just how you doing, my queen? Sweet D. Sweet D, make me that tea. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And so, but Sweet D pointed out, you guys, on the subject of Jussie, and I thought brilliantly so, she asked the poignant question, where is the gay community, and why are they so silent now? Brilliant, my sister. Brilliant. Indeed, you are an apprentice of the Jedi. Brilliant question. Brilliant. Absolutely needs to be fucking asked and answered. You see? Because they can dig up, a so-called high quotes, do your air quotes, everybody, a slur from Kevin Hart from the 1800s, you see? And all of this. But here you have the biggest story is Jussie. You see? They're even using that to distract you from this damn Coast Guard bullshit. And nothing from the alphabet community. I say unto you, why? 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 So big shout out to you, Sweet D. You see? And by the way, in contrast to that, just to bring that home even more as we end this, it's important to note also that even on this, directly after, oh my God, is that Jussie? So they take you right from this, right into Jussie. I'm saying, there you go, that's Jussie. So say that Jussie. So say that's Jussie. I'm saying, so we're over it. We're over it. Oh my God, look at the puppy. You can't even look at him. He's too cute. Don't look at him. Don't look. Don't look. Don't look. He's using his powers. Oh my God, I can't look. Quick, scroll up, Jedi, quick. I just barely made it. He was using his powers. Oh my God. Look, I got out of that unscathed. So let us beware, everybody. Because what else are we being distracted from? What else is taking place? while everybody's eyes are looking over at Jussie. You see? And also, last thing I want to say is also a shout out to everybody on the last video I did about Jussie, the one before this one, and appreciate how everybody was saying, or a lot of us were saying, what's going on with the Nigerian dudes? Then you feel me? Like because I was asking the question in the video, how come they're just being allowed to traipse away? You know, like that. Just I mean, like nah, y'all are part of it. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to see nobody go to jail ever in life, but I'm saying like just excuse me, like if y'all are all on Jussie, excuse me, these guys were part of it. Hello, anyone? They're part of it. You see? I'd like to buy a vowel, Alex, for 1,500. Can I buy a vowel, please? I'd like to buy a vowel. Yeah, and phone a friend. God damn it! I definitely need to phone a friend on that. So I'm not going to labor this on any longer, everybody. Um, I was tempted to read the court pleading, but I don't need to. We're not going to get into that. You know, if at some point in the later in the future it becomes you know material to anything, then certainly I will be happy to cover that at that time. But I just don't see any need to explore it at this time right now. Um, this is some bullshit. And as I said before, had it been anybody else other than these normal domestic white terrorists, we would be reading something different, and there would be a picture of this dude. In fact, let me just do one more search to see if I can find this guy anywhere before we say goodbye. All right, just so we can see if we can get a gander at him. That's your dude right here. Let's click on him. Boom. That's your Christopher Paul Hassan, who is charged with possession of a firearm and possession of controlled substance. There he is. So we're over it, dude. We're over it. You see? And just that I had to search for a picture of this asshole. And even still, that's not really like being a highlighted picture like, this is the dude. You understand me? I always tell you, anytime you see anything in print, there's a writer, a publisher, and an editor. Nothing is random. They've decided what's going to be on the page, what font it's going to be, what picture is going to be used, what language is going to be used, what's going to be said, what's not, with everything. You see? So this is a collusive production done on purpose, I proclaim to you. You got to stand at the gate, everybody. You got to stand at the gate. And you must be the captain of your ship at all times. At all times. That's one of the most valuable things that I could say to you. You must stand at your gate. You must. You must. If I didn't do it already, I want to shout out again all the recent donors to the GoFundMe, everybody. The link for the GoFundMe is in the description box down below. I implore my people, I need your help. I need you. I need you. And so I only ask whatever's in your power. Whatever is in your power. If you have $1, I'd love for you to donate that dollar. If you've got $5, I'd love that. And on up the scale. But whatever is in your power, I ask that you give that. And I ask you to not hold back and not give. Just give what you can. I love you all.